Greetings, everyone. I am Michael, and today we are honored to be joined by the legendary Man of Steel himself, Superman, here to answer the biggest questions about the Man of Steel. Thank you for being here with us, Superman.
Thank you for having me, Michael. It's an honor to be here.
Let's jump right into it then with our first question. What initially motivated you to become Superman and use your powers for good?
My motivation stems from a combination of my upbringing and the innate sense of responsibility that comes with my powers. Growing up on Earth as Clark Kent, I was taught by my adoptive parents to always use my abilities to help others and make the world a better place. They instilled in me a strong moral compass and a deep empathy for humanity. But beyond that, I've come to understand that with great power comes great responsibility. I've witnessed firsthand the suffering and injustices that exist in the world, and I couldn't stand idly by while people were in need. So, I made a conscious choice to embrace my powers and dedicate myself to protecting those who can't protect themselves, to stand up for truth, justice, and the common good. Every day I'm driven by the belief that I have a duty to use my gifts to make a positive impact, to inspire hope in others, and to be a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. It's not always easy, and there are challenges and sacrifices along the way, but knowing that I can make a difference, no matter how small, makes it all worthwhile.
How do you balance your duties as Superman with your personal life?
Balancing my duties as Superman with my personal life is undoubtedly one of the greatest challenges I face. Being a superhero means that I'm constantly called upon to help those in need, to protect the innocent, and to stand against injustice. But at the same time, I'm also a son, a friend, and sometimes even a romantic partner. For me, it's all about prioritization and time management. I've learned to delegate responsibilities when possible, trusting in the abilities of my fellow heroes and the support systems I have in place. I also make sure to communicate openly and honestly with my loved ones about the demands of my dual identity, so they understand when duty calls. But perhaps most importantly, I strive to maintain a sense of balance and perspective. Despite the enormity of my responsibilities as Superman, I recognize the importance of nurturing my personal relationships and taking time for self-care. Whether it's spending a quiet evening with my parents, catching up with friends, or simply taking a moment to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, these moments of connection and relaxation help recharge my spirit and keep me grounded. Of course, there are times when sacrifices must be made, when duty must come before personal desires. But I believe that by staying true to my values and staying connected to those who matter most to me, I can find harmony between my life as Superman and my life as Clark Kent. It's a constant juggling act, to be sure, but one that I'm committed to mastering for the greater good.
What principles or values guide your actions as a superhero?
As Superman, my actions are guided by a set of principles and values that have been instilled in me since childhood and reinforced through my experiences as a superhero. These principles serve as the foundation for everything I do and help shape my decisions, both big and small. First and foremost, I believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every individual. Whether they're a powerful alien like myself or an ordinary citizen, every life is precious and deserving of respect and compassion. Truth and justice are also central to my moral compass. I strive to always seek out the truth, to uphold the principles of fairness and equality, and to stand against corruption and oppression in all its forms. Compassion is another guiding principle for me. I believe in the power of empathy and understanding, and I always strive to help those in need, regardless of their circumstances or background. Courage is essential in my line of work. While I may possess incredible powers, true courage comes from facing fear and adversity head-on, even when the odds seem overwhelming. Additionally, I believe in accountability and responsibility. As someone with extraordinary abilities, I understand the weight of my actions and the impact they can have on the world. I take responsibility for my choices and strive to use my powers for the greater good. Finally, hope is perhaps the most powerful guiding principle of all. In a world filled with darkness and despair, I believe in the power of hope to inspire change, to unite people in common purpose, and to light the way toward a better future. These principles serve as my moral compass, guiding me as I navigate the complexities of being a superhero and striving to make a positive impact in the world.
How do you handle criticism or skepticism from those who doubt your intentions or abilities?
Criticism and skepticism are inevitable in my line of work, given the extraordinary nature of my abilities and the immense responsibility that comes with being Superman. While it can be disheartening to face doubt or skepticism from others, I've learned to approach such challenges with patience, understanding, and a commitment to transparency. First and foremost, I strive to lead by example and let my actions speak for themselves. By consistently demonstrating my dedication to protecting the innocent and upholding justice, I aim to earn the trust and respect of those who may doubt my intentions or abilities. I also recognize that criticism can sometimes stem from misunderstanding or fear of the unknown. In such cases, I make an effort to engage with skeptics in open and honest dialogue, addressing their concerns and providing information to help alleviate their doubts. At the same time, I understand that not everyone will be swayed by words alone, and that's okay. I try not to take criticism personally and instead use it as an opportunity for growth and self-reflection. Constructive feedback, even if it's difficult to hear, can help me identify areas where I can improve and become an even better superhero. Ultimately, I remain confident in my abilities and steadfast in my commitment to doing what's right, regardless of what others may say or think. By staying true to my values and continuing to serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration, I believe that I can overcome skepticism and win over even the most hardened critics in time.
What do you think sets you apart from other superheroes?
While there are many remarkable superheroes out there, I believe what sets me apart is a combination of my unique abilities, my unwavering commitment to justice and compassion, and the symbol of hope that I represent. First and foremost, my powers are quite extraordinary, even among superheroes. The ability to fly, superhuman strength, invulnerability, heat vision, and so on. All of these abilities make me a formidable force for good and allow me to protect people in ways that others simply cannot. But beyond my powers, it's my commitment to using them for the betterment of humanity that truly sets me apart. I strive to embody the highest ideals of heroism, selflessness, courage, and compassion in everything I do. Whether it's rescuing civilians from danger, standing up to tyrants and villains, or inspiring hope in the face of adversity, I am unwavering in my dedication to protecting the innocent and upholding justice. Moreover, I believe that the symbol of Superman represents something much larger than myself. I am a symbol of hope, a beacon of light in a world often plagued by darkness and despair. My presence alone can inspire courage and optimism in the hearts of those who need it most, serving as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a brighter future. In essence, what sets me apart is not just my powers or abilities, but the way in which I choose to use them, to uplift and empower others, to fight for truth and justice, and to serve as a symbol of hope for all humanity. It's a responsibility that I don't take lightly, and one that I will continue to uphold for as long as I am able.
How do you deal with the immense responsibility that comes with being a symbol of hope for so many people?
Dealing with the immense responsibility of being a symbol of hope for so many people is a challenge that I face every day. It's a responsibility that I don't take lightly and one that weighs heavily on my shoulders. But I've learned to approach it with a sense of humility, dedication, and a deep understanding of the impact that my actions can have on the world. First and foremost, I remind myself that being a symbol of hope isn't just about my powers or abilities. It's about the values and ideals that I represent. I strive to embody those values in everything I do, from my interactions with others to my efforts to make the world a better place. By staying true to those values, I hope to inspire others to do the same and to create a ripple effect of positivity and change. I also recognize that with great power comes great responsibility. As someone with extraordinary abilities, I have a duty to use those abilities for the greater good and to protect those who cannot protect themselves. I take that responsibility seriously and do everything in my power to live up to the trust and faith that so many people have placed in me. At the same time, I'm only human, or perhaps Kryptonian, in my case, and I understand that I can't solve every problem or save every person. I try to focus on what I can control and make a positive impact wherever I can, while also being mindful of my own limitations and seeking support when needed. Ultimately, I find strength in the knowledge that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. By staying true to my values, leading by example, and continuing to inspire others with acts of heroism and compassion, I believe that I can help to make the world a better, brighter place for all.
Are there any aspects of your life or abilities that you wish were different?
I've come to accept and embrace the unique aspects of my life and abilities, understanding that they come with both blessings and challenges. However, like anyone else, there are moments of reflection where I wonder about the what-ifs and ponder if things could be different. One aspect that often crosses my mind is the isolation that comes with my extraordinary abilities. Despite my efforts to connect with humanity and build meaningful relationships, there's a fundamental barrier between myself and others due to the sheer magnitude of my powers. It can be lonely at times, knowing that I can never truly experience life in the same way as those around me. Additionally, there are moments when I question the immense responsibility that comes with being Superman. While I've dedicated my life to using my powers for good, there are times when the weight of that responsibility feels overwhelming. I wonder what it would be like to live a simpler life, free from the constant pressure to save the world and be a symbol of hope for others. But ultimately, I've come to understand that my abilities and responsibilities are an integral part of who I am. They shape my identity and define my purpose in life. Instead of wishing for things to be different, I strive to embrace the unique challenges and opportunities that come with being Superman, knowing that each day brings new possibilities for making a positive impact in the world.
How do you view your role in the broader context of global politics and diplomacy?
I view my role in the broader context of global politics and diplomacy as one of guidance, support, and inspiration. While I am not a political leader or diplomat in the traditional sense, my actions and presence often have significant implications on the world stage. First and foremost, I strive to be a force for good and a symbol of hope for people around the world. My actions and decisions are guided by a commitment to justice, compassion, and the greater good, rather than political agendas or personal interests. In this way, I aim to serve as a moral compass, encouraging leaders and citizens alike to prioritize principles of fairness, equality, and cooperation in their own dealings. Additionally, I recognize that my unique perspective and abilities can offer valuable insights into global issues and crises. Whether it's providing assistance during natural disasters, mediating conflicts between nations, or speaking out against injustice and oppression, I see myself as a catalyst for positive change and a voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. However, I also understand the importance of respecting national sovereignty and the autonomy of individual nations. While I may intervene in matters of global significance when necessary, I do so with careful consideration and respect for the rights and perspectives of all involved parties. Ultimately, my role in global politics and diplomacy is one of partnership and collaboration. I seek to work alongside governments, organizations, and individuals from all walks of life to address the world's most pressing challenges and create a more just, peaceful, and sustainable future for all. By leading by example and fostering dialogue and cooperation, I believe that together we can overcome even the most daunting obstacles and build a better world for generations to come.
How do you view the relationship between law enforcement agencies and superheroes like yourself?
The relationship between law enforcement agencies and superheroes like myself is complex and multifaceted, reflecting the diverse perspectives and priorities of both groups. While there are certainly areas of overlap and mutual respect, there are also inherent tensions and challenges that arise from our differing approaches to crime fighting and justice. On one hand, law enforcement agencies play a vital role in maintaining public safety, upholding the rule of law, and ensuring that justice is served. They operate within established legal frameworks and protocols, working tirelessly to investigate crimes, apprehend criminals, and maintain order in society. As a superhero, I share many of these same goals and values. I am committed to protecting the innocent, upholding justice, and ensuring that those who break the law are held accountable for their actions. However, my methods and capabilities often differ significantly from those of traditional law enforcement. For example, My superhuman abilities allow me to intervene in situations that would be beyond the capabilities of most police officers. I can fly at super speeds, possess immense strength, and have powers such as heat vision and freeze breath, all of which give me a unique advantage in combating crime and saving lives. At the same time, my actions as a superhero may sometimes conflict with established legal procedures or jurisdictional boundaries. This can create tensions with law enforcement agencies, who may view me as a vigilante operating outside the bounds of the law. Despite these challenges, I believe that there is potential for collaboration and cooperation between superheroes and law enforcement agencies. By working together, we can leverage our respective strengths and expertise to more effectively combat crime, protect the public, and uphold justice. Communication, trust, and mutual respect are key to fostering a positive relationship between superheroes and law enforcement. By establishing clear lines of communication, coordinating efforts, and respecting each other's roles and responsibilities, we can overcome differences and work towards our shared goal of creating safer, more secure communities for all.
Have you ever faced a moral dilemma where there wasn't a clear right or wrong choice? How did you handle it?
I have encountered moral dilemmas where the choice wasn't clear-cut, and the consequences of my decision weighed heavily on my conscience. One such instance that comes to mind involved a situation where I had to choose between saving one life or preventing a larger catastrophe. In this particular scenario, there was a massive natural disaster unfolding, a catastrophic earthquake that threatened to devastate an entire city. At the same time, I received a distress call from someone trapped in a burning building on the other side of town. I knew that if I rushed to save the person in the burning building, precious time would be lost, and I might not be able to prevent the full extent of the earthquake's destruction. On the other hand, if I prioritized stopping the earthquake, I risked leaving the person in the burning building to perish. It was a heart-wrenching dilemma, as both options involved saving lives, but in different ways and with different potential outcomes. In situations like these, I rely on my core principles and values to guide my decision-making process. I remind myself of my commitment to protecting the innocent, upholding justice, and doing everything in my power to minimize harm and suffering. Ultimately, I had to make a split-second decision, weighing the potential consequences of each course of action and choosing the option that I believed would result in the greatest overall good. In this case, I decided to prioritize stopping the earthquake, knowing that doing so would save countless lives and prevent widespread devastation. Afterward, I made every effort to minimize the loss of life and property damage caused by the earthquake, working alongside emergency responders and community leaders to coordinate relief efforts and provide aid to those in need. While it was a difficult decision to make, I believe that by acting with compassion, courage, and a commitment to the greater good, I was able to make a positive impact in a challenging situation.
How do you reconcile your desire to help everyone with the reality that you can't save every person or prevent every tragedy?
Reconciling my desire to help everyone with the reality that I can't save every person or prevent every tragedy is one of the greatest challenges I face as Superman. It's a sobering realization that despite my best efforts and incredible abilities, I am still limited by the constraints of time, resources, and my own humanity. To cope with this reality, I remind myself of the importance of focusing on what I can control and making the greatest possible impact with the resources and opportunities available to me. While I may not be able to save every individual or prevent every tragedy, I can still make a difference in the lives of countless people by using my powers and influence for the greater good. I also try to approach each situation with empathy and compassion, recognizing the pain and suffering experienced by those I am unable to save. I strive to provide comfort and support to those in need, even if I cannot offer a solution to their immediate problems. Furthermore, I work tirelessly to empower others to become agents of positive change in their own communities. Whether it's inspiring ordinary citizens to take action, supporting grassroots organizations, or collaborating with governments and institutions to implement systemic solutions, I believe that collective efforts can make a meaningful difference in the world. Ultimately, I understand that while I may not be able to save everyone, every life I do save and every tragedy I do prevent is a victory worth celebrating. By focusing on the lives I can impact and continuing to strive for justice, compassion, and hope, I can find solace in the knowledge that I am making a difference, one person at a time.
Can you share any memorable interactions you've had with ordinary citizens whose lives you've impacted?
I remember one particular encounter vividly. It was a cloudy afternoon when I received reports of a young girl standing precariously on the edge of a tall building, contemplating ending her life. I flew to the scene as quickly as I could, my heart heavy with the knowledge that someone was in such deep despair. When I arrived, I found her perched on the ledge, tears streaming down her face, her entire world consumed by darkness. I approached her cautiously, trying to offer comfort and reassurance. She looked at me with a mixture of fear and disbelief, unable to comprehend why I, of all people, would care about her. We talked for what felt like hours, but in reality, it was only minutes. I listened as she poured out her pain, her struggles, her fears, and I shared with her my own vulnerabilities, my own moments of doubt and uncertainty. I wanted her to know that she wasn't alone, that there was hope, that her life mattered. In the end, she made the brave choice to step back from the edge, to give life another chance. It was a small victory, but to me, it was everything. Knowing that I had helped to save a life, to offer a glimmer of hope in the darkest of times, reaffirmed my purpose as Superman. That encounter stayed with me long after the clouds had cleared and the sun had set. It reminded me that sometimes the most powerful heroism isn't about punching through walls or stopping speeding bullets. It's about lending a listening ear, offering a shoulder to lean on, and being there for someone when they need it most.
What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about you or your role as Superman?
One of the biggest misconceptions people have about me is that I am invincible and infallible. While I possess incredible powers and strive to use them for the greater good, I am not without my weaknesses and limitations. For instance, despite my superhuman strength and durability, there are still threats and challenges that can pose a significant danger to me. Whether it's facing off against powerful adversaries or navigating complex moral dilemmas, I am constantly tested in ways that require resilience, courage, and ingenuity. Additionally, there's a misconception that being Superman means I always have the answers or that I can single-handedly solve every problem. In reality, I rely on the support of others, including my friends, allies, and the communities I serve, to overcome obstacles and achieve my goals. Collaboration and teamwork are essential aspects of my role as a superhero, and I recognize the importance of working together to address the world's most pressing challenges. Another common misconception is that I am somehow disconnected from humanity or unable to relate to the struggles and experiences of ordinary people. On the contrary, I am deeply empathetic and committed to using my powers to protect and uplift those in need. My humanity, both as Superman and as Clark Kent, is an integral part of who I am, and I strive to connect with people on a personal level, to understand their perspectives and experiences, and to inspire hope and resilience in the face of adversity. Overall, I hope to dispel these misconceptions and show that being Superman is about more than just strength and power. It's about embodying values of compassion, justice, and hope, and using those values to make a positive impact in the world.
We have time for one more question. Looking back on your journey as Superman, is there anything you would do differently if given the chance?
Reflecting on my journey as Superman, there are certainly moments where I've made mistakes or faced challenges that I wish had unfolded differently. If given the chance, there are a few things I might approach differently. I would strive to find a better balance between my duties as Superman and my personal life as Clark Kent. While I am committed to using my powers for the greater good, I recognize the importance of nurturing my personal relationships and taking time for self-care. I would approach setbacks and failures as opportunities for growth rather than dwelling on them with regret. Every mistake is a chance to learn and improve, and I would strive to embrace those lessons with humility and resilience. I would acknowledge my limitations more readily and seek support when needed. As much as I strive to be a symbol of hope and strength, I am still only one person, and there are times when I need to rely on the expertise and assistance of others to achieve my goals. Overall, while there are certainly aspects of my journey as Superman that I would approach differently if given the chance, I believe that each experience has shaped me into the hero I am today. I am grateful for the lessons I've learned along the way, and remain committed to using my powers for the greater good, no matter where my journey may lead.
Very insightful, Superman. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Michael.